And this one is really nice, getting that nice stretch in the front. So what's good, YouTube? I hope you guys are doing great today. Today I'm gonna be taking you guys through my upper body workout, which literally consists of 3 exercises. The last one is kind of an extra. So the first one is a 90-degree handstand push-up. The second one is one arm pull-up. And the third one is my neck. So I'll work in neck flexion and extension and a bit of the lateral movements of the neck. Just because the neck is important to train in my personal opinion. And now these 2 movements are pretty advanced and I actually can't really do them like fully as a full rep. But what I do is, all I do is 1 set to just maximum failure. And what I'm doing is I'm going through different progressions of those specific movements. So for example, the 90-degree handstand push-up, I'll start in a pike push-up position. So that's why you guys see this ladder behind me. And as I'm going down, right, it's kind of like a handstand push-up. And once my arms are about to my chest, I begin to move into a horizontal position, right, going the 90 degrees of that handstand push-up position. And from there, I even go deep into a kind of like pseudo planche push-up, which kind of turns into a pelican curl. Now, I'm just talking to talk. These are terms that you guys don't understand, you guys will see. And what's happening is throughout this entire movement, I'm assisting myself with my feet. And so I can add or remove pressure from my feet, right, which are assisting me through the movement. So what's happening is I'm going to absolute failure the whole time. And I'm just maximizing the amount of tension that I can put throughout the entire movement, which allows me to get really quality tension within these muscle groups, right? So we have a full push movement and a full pull movement. By that I mean these are complete compound movements that literally train every single muscle group that's involved in upper body pulling and pushing, right? One arm pull-up, same concept. Is you guys will see I use the ground to assist myself the whole way through the entire movement, and sometimes I'll also use my other hand to kind of pull myself a little bit more. And really, this is really key to this, control the eccentric portions of the movement. We know that eccentric movements, right, that part of the movement where it's the lowering phase of the movement, right? So like a pull-up, you're going down, a push-up, when you go down, it's when your muscles are used as brakes, and that's when the muscle fibers are actually tearing apart. So it's really important to try and slow those down and get them really clean. And why only 1 set? 1 set because it's enough, more than enough, actually. If you can get enough tension, enough effort, right? We know that going to or close to failure is actually what produces the stimulus of muscle growth to a great degree, right? I'm sure you guys have seen Mike Menster, some of his work where he's literally just doing 1 set, but that 1 set is just absolute failure, you know? And then what's more important than just the stimulus, obviously the stimulus is very important, but it's the recovery. So you're actually making gains when you're not training. This is a concept I learned the hard way, and I also work in construction, so it's pretty challenging, you know, work throughout the day, physical labor. And so this I found to be very effective, time effective, and it just works overall. I see myself getting stronger. I also have a lower body day 2. And in terms of frequency and whatnot, before I even begin, that you're gonna have to play around like with whatever you like, whatever, actually not what you like, but what works for you, what you can recover from. If you feel fresh and recovered 2 days after, then you can do it again if you want, you know. But if you're like me, and again, you work physical labor or your recovery is just not that great, you can do this probably like once a week and still make good gains, you know, if you're really putting in the effort into the movement. So yeah, I'm gonna get into it and demonstrate to you guys what this actually looks like. I learned this from a YouTuber named Jack H. Woods. If you guys want to check out his work, really awesome movement training method that works overall. I also do free movement on my rest days. I made another video about that. Again, another important key factor to just overall health and also making gains. So yeah, I'm gonna take you guys through this, so let's get to it. Oh man, and if you guys hear my dog barking, don't mind it. He's chilling, he's just like that. And I also don't really warm up, by the way, just because I'm not trying to speed up the reps. I'm actually trying to slow them down quite a bit. Oh. Putting as much tension on my arms as possible. Getting that full stretch. Okay, so that's one rep. Oh. Oh, so again, it's not about the amount of reps. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it's just about going to failure. And you see, like now I can't press myself up anymore. So what I do is now I'll just do an eccentric. This could be my last rep. I'm not sure. We'll see how it feels, but the goal again, just try and get maximum tension on the muscles. I think I got one more eccentric in me. Oh, and that's it. Okay. Oh, that's it. Oh my goodness. Okay. Got my pants dirty. So, as you guys can see, it's challenging. It's pretty hard. But I found that, at least for myself, let me try and catch my breath real quick. I used to train with very high volume, doing reps on reps on reps. And it's not that that doesn't work. It's just that you're not at some point really building strength, right? I'm sure you guys have seen the rep ranges and whatnot. And that's not to say that you can't build muscle or strength with higher reps. You definitely can. But you need difficulty. You need challenge in your rep to trigger your body to grow muscle, to build strength. You have to be pushing to failure. And so this method works very, very well because you are going to absolute tension the whole time. You know, if you could just do a full rep of 90-degree handstand push-ups, really slow and controlled. And even if that's too easy for you, you can just add more weight. And if you can barely do this, you can just go into like a regular pike push-up or even on your knees. Like, what's nice is you can start at any level, you know, and you can make gains for the rest of your life. And this just works really, really, really well, like I said. And now, before I get into the next exercise, I want to rest up a decent amount. You don't want to push too hard. Like right after your other set, you want to, you know, recover. We're training for strength here, you know. And not to mention that, personally, I noticed that when I train this way, my reps and my feeling, let's say if I just do regular push-ups or pull-ups, I feel way stronger. And my endurance actually improves too because you're stronger. You know, like you're just building overall strength. If you can do a one-arm pull-up, which you were not able to do before, your regular pull-ups will definitely feel a lot easier. Right? Kind of like squats and pistol squats. Like if you get really good at pistol squats, you're definitely going to be pretty much better at squats too, right? It's kind of self-explanatory. And so yeah, now I'm going to set this up to be able to do the one-arm pull-ups. You don't really need 2 rings for this. You could also do this on just a regular bar. You know, a pull-up bar with like some kind of elevated surface. It could be a box, it could be a chair. And again, you're just using your feet for assistance. You definitely want to focus on getting like that complete stretch, you know, like I am right now, to complete like decompression of everything. Oh man, that was intense. And yeah, and I actually used to do my full body workout in one workout, like my upper and lower. But I found that it was too much because you're pushing really hard. And so I would do, for my lower body, I do pistol squats and Nordic curls. And pistol squats I do with weight on me. And I just was drained. Like once I got to the planche, or sorry, not planche, but the 90-degree handstand push-up, man, I had no energy. Like I was just dying. And I actually add side bends, like side bending with a dumbbell. On my lower body day, because for me that's really important. I found that training that is really good, like for imbalances which we often have in our spine. And the goal is really, again, to hit the most amount of major muscle groups in the least amount of exercise possible. So you're just hitting everything. Everything is working hard. Again, compound movements have been shown to grow muscle mass overall better than isolation exercises. And again, also taking it through full range of motion, so we're getting a stretched, preferably a stretched position within that movement, right? So again, yeah, this push-up, you guys see me going really deep. I'm getting a full stretch on my chest, my shoulders, my biceps even. And the one-arm pull-up, right, your lat is completely decompressed. You know, everything is getting stretched out. Stressed out too. And, you know, again, pistol squats, full deep knee bend. It's not as much of a stretched movement, but it's still a complete compound movement. Nordic curls too, it's not really a stretched movement, but it is a lengthened movement. Now, I know I'm kind of getting off topic, but let's say Nordic curls. The difference between Nordic curls and a regular hamstring curl is the hamstring curl, the most amount of tension is when your knee is fully flexed. Whereas Nordic curl, the hardest position is when your leg is completely straight, right? Getting into that Nordic. And that's the difference, is you're strengthening it through a lengthened position. It's completely lengthened, right? Again, one arm pull up too. It's fully lengthened. I'm pulling myself up. Again, same thing for this movement. I'm fully stretched out. That's the hardest position. Pistol squat too, the hardest position is at the bottom, right, to like 90 degrees. Because it's all lengthened, it's difficult, it's challenging. And so yeah, these are awesome principles. And when I'm doing unilateral movements like one arm pull-up or pistol squat, I always start with my weaker side. So for me, my right arm is stronger, my right leg is stronger too. And so I start with my left because I want to put the most amount of tension on my left, you know. And I try to get about the same amount of reps on both sides. If I do more on my weaker side, that's actually a good thing. And so yeah, and you could obviously do this, like you could do a set like this for maybe 10 minutes, you know, just going to absolute failure, assisting yourself until you literally die. But I don't know if that's the most effective. I've found that once, okay, I noticed there's a lot of tension, I'm kind of drained, maybe I could do more, but maybe I should just back out because you're constantly going to failure, you know. And so yeah, I might just be yapping to yap, but yeah, I hope this is helpful. So yeah, okay, let's get to it. One arm pull up. Again, you want to put the most amount of tension on, let's say your hands, for example, on the upper body movements, right? Your feet, you want to try and put the least amount of tension on them and just assist yourself little by little. And yeah, if your feet can come off the ground, then that's great. You know, that's a great sign. You're getting stronger. And again, complete stretch, complete flexion after, complete tension at the top of the movement. So yeah. Okay. So you guys can see the eccentric, I use my hand. You could keep using your feet, that's okay. Okay, so now my concentric, I'm just dead. So I'm gonna focus on the eccentric. Remember, I said that it's the most important part of it to build strength and, of course, muscle too. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think I'll do just one more eccentric. I'm pausing at the stretch. Oh, okay. Oh. And again, resting up properly. Ah. Oh, man. So, wow, one arm pull up is really tough, man. But you guys can see that again, I'm just trying to maximize the amount of tension I'm getting, pulling up clean form, getting the ring to touch my chest. Again, assisting myself throughout the entire movement. Just getting really good tension the whole way through the entire movement. Man, so that's good, man. Man, it's kind of weird. You feel like you got one arm bigger than the other. But yeah, so that's pretty much the method, to be honest with you guys. It's very simple. I've seen gains. I've been doing this for, I don't know, a few months maybe, and I've found great gains doing this, you know. Nordic curls, like I got to a complete full Nordic curl. Handstand push-ups, you know, just getting stronger. My pull-ups feel stronger. I can do one arm pull-up from this position. From the bottom, I've always been weaker because, again, the stretched positions are usually our weakest points. And so, yeah. And so now, keeping in mind that I did 3 concentrics, so 3 full reps, and then I did 3 eccentrics, so I'm going to do the same thing on my other arm. And yeah. So yeah, this method is great, and you guys will see for the neck. Again, I'm just trying to stretch and strengthen everything. The neck is important because, you know, you can save yourself from getting concussions and whatnot just because your neck is stronger, you know. And I don't know that many people who train their necks, you know, and it also gives a better aesthetic. Like, you have a thicker neck, it's just a better aesthetic. And I'm not sure about this, but I believe there was studies done about necks where they could measure someone's complete full body strength just by like their neck strength, in the sense that they could tell who was the strongest in the room just by testing their neck strength, which is quite interesting to think about, of course. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna get ready to do my next set here. I'm gonna do it this way so that you guys can, actually no, I'll do it this way. Okay. Oh, okay. Now the eccentrics. Last rep. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh. Okay. So that's it for the 2 main upper body movements. You guys could stop it there, honestly. You guys don't have to do the neck. But yeah, I'm gonna move on to the neck. So yeah, see you guys there. Okay, so this right here is for the neck. You guys will probably need some kind of pad because it's pretty hard on the head. And you guys will see that I'll begin in the front and I'll show you guys how I kind of explore the ranges of motion within my neck, trying to put tension as much as I can. And then I'll do it on the back side. So you're getting a nice complete neck, training, which is really nice. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys could do this on grass, on a carpet inside your house. If you have kind of like rubbery floor, like for example, my gym has that could be really helpful too. And yeah, same principle, you guys. So you put your hands on the ground too. You can also your feet, you don't need to. You could put your knees on the ground too if you really need to. And again, if you put too much tension on your head, so your neck has too much tension, just put more tension, more pressure, I guess I should say, on your hands so that you can, again, progress or regress within the movement, putting as much emphasis on your neck, as possible, as much as you can. And so, yeah, I'll show you guys what that looks like. And yeah, let's get right into it. So, kind of like a push-up looking position.
Let's say like this. Get that nice stretch in the back. Trying to put as much tension. Can even move side to side. Really important too. Getting all the nooks and crannies of the neck. You might be shaking a little bit like me, but that's okay. It's kind of the point. Even on the front here, moving side to side too. Oh. And again, you don't have to go to absolute death on this. You could kind of just treat it as like some mobility. But once you see that it begins to get difficult enough, then you can stop it there. You can even go on your jaw like this. And even open your mouth. This might be weird a bit. Like you see, I think for me, that's good enough for the front portion. So I'm gonna chill out for a few seconds. So yeah, you're gonna get some nice blood flow, some nice stretching going on too within the neck. If you're stressed out, maybe you'll get some tightness in your neck. And I even find that sometimes we have one side much tighter than the other. And again, we want to loosen that up. We want to strengthen that region as a whole. And yeah, some people say this movement is bad. Neck bridge. Wrestlers do it. Mike Tyson used to do it. And he said that it messed him up, but I think he was doing it for like 20 minutes straight. So yeah, there's this saying that like the poison is in the dosage. How much of it are you actually doing? And another interesting point is that you would think at the intensity that I'm going at, I'd be more prone to injury, but no. Matter of fact, some studies show that what actually causes a lot of injury is just overuse. You're doing a lot of it constantly, a lot of repetition. Your joints, ligaments, tendons, muscles don't have enough time to recover. Whereas if you're pushing with intensity, especially in the way that I'm doing it, I'm not pushing crazy weight, I'm actually using my body weight and using leverage, to increase or decrease the amount of tension there is. And so, yeah, I've actually been more injury-free doing this, as well as, again, implementing some free movement stuff within my rest days and whatnot, practicing handstands, splits, mobility, I guess you could say. cardio. I did some boxing yesterday. So yeah, this allows for freedom, and I'd say most of your fitness goals will come just from strength training, with the proper kind, the kind of strength training that you enjoy, whether it's weight training, calisthenics, you name it, for different goals. Find what you enjoy and movements that you like. For me, I found that I used to focus on too much different exercises, trying to get the most optimal thing and doing all the right stretches and this and that. But focusing on specific compound movements, and then the rest just doing free movement to kind of hit all the nooks and crannies, is effective, I find. And so, yeah, I'm gonna move on to the back side of my neck now. It's kind of like a back bridge position, same principle though. Now, you might want to start off like this. I'm capable of, I might not be in the camera, like this. And just raising up. You can use your hands too for assistance, you guys. And this one is really nice, getting that nice stretch in the front. Remember to take deep breaths. Going side to side is really nice too. Again, helping yourself out as needed. Really getting that nice stretch in the neck. Even trying to flex your neck. And what I found too is you get a nice quad stretch like this too, and for your toes. But another thing is too that when you're in this position, if you stick your tongue to your palate, you might get an even deeper neck stretch, which is really, really nice. Again, side to side. Might hear some cracking. And even this way, you might want to move your legs out, getting that neck extension going on. Even side to side that way. You get nice stretching. Gives you a nice scalp massage too. Get some nice hair. And I think that's gonna be it for me. Some nice back bridge. Oh my goodness, okay. So that's it. Oh, that's pretty intense. I even get a chest stretch from that. So if you guys have never tried this before, definitely give it a shot. It is intense. So try to do it on days that you might feel more recovered. You might want to eat some food before doing this so that you got enough glycogen in you. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, definitely leave a comment down below. If you guys are interested in one-on-one coaching, I am a personal trainer. I actually got my certification not that long ago. And yeah, I'll be posting the lower body video for this training session. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that this might be helpful. And again, you can apply this same principle to many different movements. I've seen people do it with just doing planche push-ups or just handstand push-ups or front lever rows, or you can really do this with a lot of movements. You just want to make sure that the movement is safe and that you can kind of assist yourself in a nice way. The difference being that, let's say for bench press, you could do this for bench press, but you need a spotter. You need someone to kind of help you to lift the weight up for you. Whereas with this, you can kind of do it by yourself, which is really nice, really helpful. And so, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, I'll be posting more content like this. And yeah, I pray that we would all appreciate the bodies that God gave us and yeah, that we would live for him, for the good. And so, yeah, thank you guys for everything, and have a beautiful, blessed week this week. And yeah, keep moving.